Ladies and gentlemen, today we're joined today. Right, I'll start again. Sorry, start again. Right. Hello, this is Heavy D. Today I'm joined by the legendary Big Joe Egan. How are you doing today, Joe?
I'm doing good, Heavy D. How are you, pal?
I'm very good, mate. I'm very good, very good, very good. Obviously, the big talking point, is going throughout the whole of the boxing world is a big fight between John Fury, I almost said Joe Egan there, John Fury and Mick Theo. Because obviously Mick Theo called out John Fury. John Fury responded. He says he's got a fight. How do you feel about what's been going on, what's been said?
Well, they're going to raise a lot of money for the NHS, who are remarkable, wonderful people fighting this coronavirus front line. You know, they're angels without wings. I admire them so much. And to raise money for any cause is wonderful, but for this cause at this moment in time is even better. But Mick Theo, you know, I think he's been up more than he can chew, to tell you the truth. You know, Fury is a fighting man through and through. It runs in his family, it runs in his DNA. Mick Theo is a bodybuilder. Take nothing away from the man. He's been an athlete, you know, and he's built up a lot of muscle, and he's built muscle on top of muscle and competed at the highest level of bodybuilding. But you can't put muscle on your chin. And I think John Fury's on his chin. I really do. I just think that John Fury's on the shaft of his shoulder with a right hand. You know, the good big man always beats the good small man. But I admire Micky Theo's courage. And like I said, I respect the man. I've never met him. I've only ever spoken to him on the phone. Like I said, I don't know him. But hopefully they'll raise a lot of money. And if the NHS aren't putting on too much pressure, putting me back together again when the fight's over. Because I believe that John Fury will smash in the bits.
I spoke to him. I had done an interview before, and he sounds very calm. He sounds very composed and very relaxed, and he's not phased at all. Mick Theo. Mick Theo, he seems very relaxed. He seems very relaxed about that.
He wants at this moment. Yeah, but it's months away from the fight.
It's months away from the fight. That's right.
It's months
away. That's right. Yeah. When he gets close to the fight,
see when he's got to walk. See when he's got to walk that walk. You can talk the talk. I've met many men over the years that talk the talk. It takes a brave man, because we're boxing now. It takes a brave man or woman to walk that walk into the boxing ring and fight. Listen, I'm sure he will. I don't think he'll cry off. You know, he's called the fight on, and I'm sure he'll go through with it. But as he gets closer and closer and closer to the date, and I believe on the night that he has to walk to the ring, he'll be thinking to himself, what have I done this for? And I don't care how fit he is, and I don't care how strong he is. He's not boxed at the level John Fury's boxed at. You know, John Fury's been with world champions, you know, and he's been sparring with world champions over the years. He's got a wealth of knowledge with boxing. He knows his way around the boxing ring. You know, Mickey might know his way around a weights ring or a weights gymnasium. You know, there's two different playgrounds as such. The boxing ring is a completely different like competition than a bodybuilding competition. You know, the boxing is listen. You play a lot of sports. You play football. You play golf. You play basketball. You play a lot of sports. You don't play boxing.
You can't play boxing.
You know, and it's a serious. You can't. It's a serious full contact sport. Yeah. And when Theo gets hit by a man as powerful as John Fury, every bone in his body is going to shake. Like you got about that John mentioned about his false teeth, and Mickey took offence saying I don't have any false teeth. I made a joke, you know, because you got to laugh. There's hundreds of thousands of languages in the world. Everybody speaks different languages, but everybody laughs in the same language.
Everyone laughs the same.
Everyone laughs at the same language, and at this moment in time when people are on heavy medication with this coronavirus, laughter can sometimes be a good medicine. They say sometimes laughter is the best medicine. And I just made a few jokes. Yeah, you know, I made a few jokes about the man. That after the fight, he's coming off false teeth. He said, yes, when the fight's over. I know. But listen, while it lasts, I don't think it's going to last long. I think, you know, it might go 1 round, it might go 2 rounds, you know, but I can't see it going past 2 rounds. personally. I think once John starts landing the big shots on him, you know, it's gonna hurt. He said he sparred with Lenny McLean. You know, Lenny obviously was a big fighting man. You know, a big street fighting man. He wasn't a boxer. John Fury's a boxer. He's also a street fighting man. You know, he's also a street fighting man. But John Fury is an experienced boxer, having fought a lot of pro fights, a lot of amateur fights, and sparring with world-class, world champion fighters. You know, he's got a wealth of knowledge. He's got a wealth of experience. And I think he's going to bring that to the ring. Plus, there seems to be a bit of venom in John. The fact that Micky Theo has had the audacity and people say bravery, madness, to call John Fury out in a fight. You know, there's men his own size he could have called out in a fight. You know, and maybe had a chance. But to call out a man as proud and as big as John Fury, I just think he's bitten off a lot more than he can chew. But once the NHS raise a lot of money after the pain that Micky Theo is going to go through, it'll be all worth it, you know, because a wonderful cause will benefit.
That's right. That's right.
Fair play to Micky Theo. John Fury's the real deal.
So, I asked him what his motive was for doing the fight. He said he wanted to challenge himself and he wanted to raise money for the NHS. What do you think his real motive is for fighting John Fury?
I think he's on the glory trail, to tell you the truth. You know,
he's on the glory trail, yeah?
Well, yeah, he's on a publicity trip.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, somebody told me he's got a book coming out soon. If he's got a book coming out soon, what a launch pad to put his book out there. You know, he's going to get so much publicity, and that's going to help his book launch. But to call out the daddy of the head champion of the world, you know, there's maybe a bit more, you know, going on than what we know. You know, there's he's got an ulterior motive.
So you heard the great man's got a book coming out.
Yeah,
but I mean that would be a big chapter in the book, wouldn't it? Him fighting John Fury, that'd be a massive chapter in the book. It might even turn into a film.
Chapter in the book. If the book's not already done. It's not already done. It'd be a great chapter in the book.
It'd be a big chapter. Probably turn into a film as well. Filming right.
Oh, strange things have happened.
Stranger things have happened. Yeah.
The thing is, you know, like I said, there's going to be money raised for the NHS. So at the end of the day, the end result, whoever wins the fight, it doesn't matter. But I believe John Fury's going to win. But the NHS will raise a lot of money.
Can I ask you? What if? I know it's a big if. So it's a massive if. But what if John Fury was to lose? No one's going to ask that question. No one's going to ask that question. I know it's a massive if.
You should be live with your follow. You should be live with your follow. You should be there with them top stack comedians.
I know. I can't see it happening myself. I can't see him losing. But
listen. Steven Spielberg wouldn't have that imagination. Big John Fury. Are you for real? But
you know what? There have been some big upsets in boxing. Buster Douglas, Andy Ruiz.
Big upsets in boxing. Listen. There's been big upsets in boxing when you've got two proper boxers. Do you understand? Right? Yeah. When you've got two proper boxers, one has a bad day at the office and the other one wins. Do you understand?
But the thing about we don't know how long Mick Theo has been training for John Fury. He could be training for John Fury for years without us knowing. He could be doing it all behind closed doors. He could be targeting John Fury. Same with AJ was targeted by Ruiz.
Right, listen, get back to the AJ Ruiz fight, right?
Yeah.
There's an old saying: fail to prepare, be prepared to fail.
That's right.
AJ didn't prepare for the fight with Ruiz. He's prepared to fight the fat Baby Miller, a completely different opponent than Ruiz, right? Baby Miller was a big fat pudding that Joshua would have played with. But instead, he was in against a live wire Ruiz, who'd been around a long time. The only fight that Ruiz had lost was on a split decision out in New Zealand to Parker. He'd been a seasoned campaigner as a professional fighter, and he'd also been a top amateur. He was. Don't judge him by the way he looks. You know, he was a phenomenal fighter.
Yeah, good
and
fight,
on that day, Anthony had prepared to fight a different opponent.
Yeah.
Take nothing away from Anthony. He lost to the man on the day. But when Anthony went back and prepared for Ruiz, he took Ruiz to school. He caned the man, you know. And it's like the bull and the matador, right? The bull attacks the matador sidesteps, sticks swords in him, sidesteps, sticks swords in him. Very seldom does the bull win. But see, when the bull does win, and he connects with the matador with his horn, it's spectacular, right? And on that day, Ruiz was the bull, and he connected with Anthony, the matador. But in the rematch, Anthony was the proper matador, and he caned the bull. You know, and that's what happened. And like you say, that's upsetting boxing, where there's two proper boxers, two men that are trained to box, that have been around the gyms, amateur and pro. You know, Micky Theo's been around. Listen, if John Fury was to go in to a bodybuilding competition, right, and try and compete with Micky Theo, Micky Theo would have a lot more experience in the bodybuilding than John. He would know the poses, he would know the routines to do, you know. So horses for courses. Talking of horses, John's a horse of a man. You know, he's a powerful, big beast of a man. They call him John the Beast Fury. He's far from a beast. The man's an absolute gentleman. He's a thorough gentleman. He's my friend. His family are my friends, you know, and I'm very proud to call them my friends. But I just think that he's got too much power, too much experience, and he's took offence at the fact that Micky Theo is calling him out. So he's got a lot of venom in him.
He's took it very personal, isn't he? He took it very personal.
Took it very, very personal. You know, John's a 54-year-old man. You know, he's done what he's had to do in the fight game. You know, and I know Micky Theo's 56 and looks well for it, but I just think that he's offended John. He's rubbed John up the wrong way, and he's gonna pay the price. He's gonna get hurt that night. He's gonna get bashed.
Because when I was talking to Micky Theo, he was saying that he wants 10 3-minute rounds, he wants 10-ounce gloves, he wants to do it properly.
Listen, I might as well say, let's do it the old way. 15 3-minute rounds. It's not going past 2. You know, it's not going past Micky Theo. They can call as many rounds as they want. I'm telling you now, that fight won't go past 2 rounds. John Fury will batter him into submission, right? He'll batter him to a pulp. First round, Micky Theo's got to, he's got to stand up to an onslaught that John's going to lay onto him. And if he's got any sort of ability at all, he'll get through the first round. But it doesn't matter how much ability or how much courage he's got. The second round, it's going to be too hard for him. He won't hear the second round. He won't hear the bell for the second round. He won't get through the second round. That's my prediction. You know.
What's your prediction? Second round knockout, John Fury, big John Fury. Second round knockout.
First or second. First or second. It depends on what Micky brings to the ring to get him through the first round. You know, he's a fighting man, so I think his limited ability should get him through the first round. But after the first round, I think just John's power, John's sheer size, John's experience will take over. If he doesn't do it in the first, he'll do it in the second. You know, so they can say 10 3 minutes, they can say 15 3 minutes. It's not going past the second round. You know, but while it lasts, it'll be exciting. Because like I said, Micky's corner now, he's not going to come in and lay down. He's obviously a proud man. He believes in himself. He believes in his own ability. But I just think he's bitten off too much, bitten off more than he can chew. And I just think that John Fury's going to be the man of the night. But there's going to be a great undercard as well. You know, there's going to be other people fighting on the bill. It's going to be Gold Star Promotions are putting the show on, Spencer Brown. And he can't put on a show. You know, he's been putting talk shows on all around the UK with the afternoon speaking. He's had the EBF, European Boxing Federation, for a number of years. He's put boxing shows on all around the UK and international as well. He's gone out to Malta, he's gone out to Jersey, and he's put events on. So it will be an event. It will be an event, and I think that there'll be a great crowd. They'll get value for money, and the NHS, hopefully, fingers crossed, they're going to raise an awful lot of money for these wonderful people.
I mean, from what I've heard, it's going to be a sellout crowd. I think John Fury he sells out after dinner events. So I think there's going to be a lot of bums and seats, a lot of pay-per-view. I think it's going to raise a lot of money for the NHS.
Well, the cause that they're fighting for, the NHS.
Yes,
people are so emotionally involved with the NHS for what they're doing, the battle that they're in against this coronavirus. touched all our hearts.
Definitely.
And for the people that have died, God rest them. And for the people that are fighting, please God, you pull through.
That's the biggest fight of all. The coronavirus.
Yes,
is the biggest fight of all.
Yes, this is the biggest fight.
Yeah, 100%.
I've ever seen the NHS involved in. There's been other illnesses that they've been up against over the years, but I've never seen anything like this. You know, when you see doctors and nurses dying at their post, it's so sad.
Heartbreaking.
It's so tragic. It is heartbreaking.
Yeah.
You know, they go in and they're treating a patient, and suddenly whatever that patient is carrying has infected them, and they die, you know, and then they've still got the doctors and nurses behind them that step up to the line to do the job. You know, you've got to I admire them so much.
Yeah.
I respect them so much. You know, like I said earlier on, angels without wings. We don't realise. I used to rave and praise firemen, and I'll still rave and praise firemen, the bravest of the brave. But these NHS workers now, what they're up against with limited protective gear. You know, they're on about they need more protective gear. Hopefully they get it, because it's so sad when you switch on the news and you see them dying, doing their job, trying to save people's lives. It's heartbreaking.
Anybody who saves people's lives has got to be, you know, is always number one in my book.
At this moment in time, they're getting the headlines, but they've always been there. They've always been there. The NHS has always been there. Doctors and nurses, you know, have always been there, and wonderful people. But they're getting the praise. They're getting the praise now that they truly deserve.
Yeah.
You know, long overdue praise. Long overdue praise. But it's going to highlight the wonderful job that they do, and the wonderful job that they've done in time. You know, over time. You know, they've been saving people for years and never got the praise that they truly deserve. Now they're getting it.
So let's hear a bit about yourself. I mean, you used to be a sparring partner with Mike Tyson. I take it.
Yeah, I was Mike Tyson's sparring partner for nearly 2 years. You're going to get
wow.
You might as well get battered by the best. I got battered by the best of my year.
Yeah.
And a good fight with Lennox Lewis as well. I stayed on my feet with Lennox, got battered by Lennox as well.
What, but you don't spar with Lennox Lewis?
No, I fought Lennox.
You fought Lennox Lewis?
Yeah, I fought Lennox as an amateur. I fought Lennox as an amateur. I won the New York Golden Gloves and New York State Golden Gloves, and I boxed on an All-Star New York team against the Canadian All-Stars in 1985. Lennox was the Canadian champion, Olympic bronze medalist in 84, got the gold in 88. I fought him in 85, he was number 2 in the world. I fought him in Alexandria Bay, and he battered me for 3 rounds, but I stayed on my feet. So I'm very proud to say I stayed on my feet with Mike Tyson and Lennox Lewis, 2 hardest punches of my year. It was an honour to share the ring with them. Every man that came into the ring and woman dreams about becoming a champion of the world. I dreamed the dream. I wasn't good enough to become a champion of the world, but it was an honour to share the ring with world champions.
Yeah, but not many people can say they've done that.
No, it's a great claim to fame, you know. And Mike's been a friend of mine for, oh my God, count the years, from the end of 83 to now. I don't even know many years. And he's been over to Ireland to visit my mum on 3 occasions. My mum used to speak to him on the phone. She said, "Oh, Mike, thank you so much for looking after my son. He was beating me to a pulp week in, week out." But she didn't know that. But like I said, he's still my friend to this day, and he'll be my friend for as long as I last and for as long as he lasts. And please God, it's a long time for us both. But the boxing career, I won 7 Irish titles.
Wow.
I beat Bruce Seldon. He went on to win the world heavyweight title.
Of course he did. Yeah, of course he did.
I beat Seldon in Atlantic City. He was
Mike Tyson beat Bruce Seldon, didn't he?
Mike beat him for the world heavyweight title.
WBC, wasn't it?
Yeah, Mike beat him for the heavyweight title.
Yeah.
Seldon became the heavyweight champion of the world. I beat him as an amateur in an international Ireland versus American Atlantic City.
I think he beat him for the WBA. I'm not sure. WBA beat him, and then he beat Frank Bruno for the second time for the WBC.
I can't remember, Big T, to tell you the truth. It was a great era when Mike was at his so-called prime. You know, we never saw the best of him, because when Cuss passed away, the best of Mike passed away as well. But we never really saw the best of Mike. But it was great while it lasted. He brought a lot of excitement to the ring.
So you were sparring him when he was in his prime?
I sparred him when we were 17 years of age.
Wow! 19. Can't get more.
He won the title at 20. But people say he hurt me. He made me cry many, many times. You know, he battered me many times. like I said, it was an honour to share the ring with him and to be able to call him my friend. But things didn't go as well in my boxing career as what they went in Mike's. Like I said, I dreamed the dream. I just never got to live it. I wasn't good enough. But when my boxing career finished, I got a break into the films. Cass Pennant published a book. Mike Tyson launched a book in Canary Wharf, my autobiography, and it brought Canary Wharf to a standstill. There was thousands and thousands of people there, several world champions. I know everybody was in attendance for Mike Tyson, but Mike Tyson was there for me, Big D, and it was such a wonderful day. Probably one of the best days of my life, and it was just amazing. And then I did a dinner talk one night with. Oh God, loads of champions over the years. But I did a talk one night, and I met. Oh God, I'm trying to think now. Tama Hassan. I met Tama, and became friends. And then I got to part in Cass's movie, Cass Pennant's film.
Yeah.
Cass. And then me and Tama were reunited after meeting him at an event before. And he said, "Joe, you've got a great presence on screen." He said, fancy an acting career. And I joked with him, I said, acting my way through a boxing career. Anyway, he said, my agent could do something with you. And I said, well, I've never thought about it, but I'll give it a go. Anyway, he introduced me to his agent. His agent said there was a film being done, the Sherlock Holmes film, and they were looking for a character called Mike Murdoch to fight Robert Downey Jr. So I went for the casting. The casting agent said, look into the camera lens, give an intimidating stare. So I did that. They went, wow, you've got an amazing intimidating stare. I said, I've had to look at the eyes of Mike Tyson and Lennox Lewis to try and intimidate them. To intimidate a couple of casting agents, no problem. Anyway, I got the part, I went to the read-through, my nameplate, Joe Egan, next to Jude Law, Robert Downey Jr., Rachel McAdams, Eddie Marson, all the stars of the film, the hierarchy of Warner Brothers. I'm sitting opposite Guy.
You got the part?
Listen to this. I got the part to play like Murdoch, to fight Robert Downey Jr. So I've gone to the read-through, I'm sitting opposite Guy Ritchie and Joe's with the CEO of Warner Brothers, and the guy said, Joe, I've been trying to get you in one of my films for a long time. I said, you're joking. And Robert Downey Jr. leaned in. This is Iron Man. He goes, Joe, you come with a fearsome reputation. I couldn't believe these people knew me. I couldn't believe these.
I heard about you years ago.
Listen to this, right? I couldn't believe they even knew me. Anyway, I travelled down in the minibus to do the practice fight. The guy said, how are things, Joe? I said, things are okay. Guy, I'm making ends meet. He said, has your agent told you how much you're getting for the fight scene? I said, Guy, I never even asked. I'm just so honoured to be in your film. When he told me, it was more than I got on any of my professional fights. And I was deadly serious. I said, Guy, for that money, I said, Robert Downey Jr. can really hit me. You can kick me as well if you want to. True as God. He took a bit of laughing. He said, Joe, I know what you've been beaten up. I said, Guy, I've been beaten up for a lot less. I'll do a few weeks in hospital for that money. Then I didn't have to get beat up in the film. I ended up playing a part in the scene that wasn't even in the script. And I get called Big Joe by an Academy Award winner and a Warner Bros. Movie directed by Guy Ritchie. And it's made all the beatings that I've took, word-one. I've had some savage beatings in my life, I got battered by world boxing champions. I got battered by bullies, so I've endured a lot of pain in my life. But now, it seems to be all worthwhile. The parts I'm getting are bigger. I'm getting experience with each film. And I get to play the gangster or the tough guy in the film. So I've had to walk that walk, being a tough guy walking into the boxing ring. I've had to walk that walk. So I've got that sort of presence on screen as a tough guy. I don't think they're ever going to give me a love scene, to tell you the truth.
I'm the same. I'm trying to get like one of those parts, but you just know when it happens. So I'm always playing like a big henchman or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I normally play. And it's not, they're not very testing roles, but they're fun.
It depends what type of film it is. If it's a Guy Ritchie film, then you're going to have fun.
Two Sherlock Holmes 1 and 2. Both of them. I'm just finished on a big film with Vinnie Jones real soon, and I've got one start. I got a text today. It goes on to Netflix tonight. Once Upon a Time in London, all over the world. And I play Bear's Breath in that film. But my ultimate dream would be to play a baddie in a Bond movie. Even before I ever took up acting. I've always loved the Bond films. And I
think you made a very good Bond villain, 100%.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt, I make a good Bond villain. The thing is, right, I wouldn't be a good enough actor to play the main villain, but to play one of his henchmen,
I could play one of his henchmen. Like, I'd love that, you know. But I've always dreamed about being a baddie in a Bond film. I never dreamed about being Bond. I love James Bond, but I've always dreamed about being a baddie because I've always loved Odd Job and Jaws. You know, and everybody relates to the baddie and Bond. There's been some great baddies, but Bond is the ultimate dream to be in a Bond movie. You know, so fingers crossed. If Daniel Craig's listening, get me into a Bond movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm writing a film script at the moment about boxing. I'll try and write you a part.
Please.
Yeah. I'll try and write a part around you just especially for you.
Yeah,
tailor made for you.
Thank you.
Yeah. No worries.
But I'm enjoying life. I got married 3 years ago. This year, Rudy. My wife at the back, Ruth. She can't hear me. And we've been together 22 years. And 3 years now this year we'll be married. Life's good. Life's good.
Every day.
Good place.
Yeah.
I'm getting some good movie parts.
Yeah.
The book done ever so well, which helped. We're getting the after dinner speaking events, and I'm enjoying life. And I've no interest in coming out of retirement. People saying, "Oh, these guys 54 and 56." I'm 54. They say, "Joe, would you not give it a go?" I said, "No, I'm never going to fight again."
Yeah,
it's too hard.
It's hard. Yeah, it's hard.
I admire John and I admire Micky. You know, because it is a hard sport.
I'm hoping to get on the undercard, and I'm 47. See, a lot of people think that I'm a lot younger. I look a lot younger, but I'm 47, so. You know, it's
You only as young as you feel.
I'll tell you how young you feel. Do you know what it is? Since I've been doing this boxing, I haven't left it long enough for me to leave it. I got the bug for it, and I started a bit late. So really and truly, I had a boxing match in December.
How'd it go?
Well, do you know what? I'll tell you how it went. I fought on the guy. I fought on his patch. All right, he was the home fighter.
Okay.
And what happened was, I basically, I thought I done enough to win the fight, but I got a headbutt. The referee should have stopped it really in the second.
Yes.
But obviously it's illegal, wasn't it? The headbutts or whatever.
Yes.
So what happened was, I took the headbutt, and the referee was his mate. Right, let's say what happened. The referee was his mate, and it was just all dodgy setup. And basically,
that happens when you're fighting in a man's home ground.
That's what happens. That's what happens. It's politics. There's no way around it. It doesn't matter. There's an
old saying in boxing. If you're fighting in a man's backyard or a man's home ground, even if you knock him out, you're only going to get the draw.
Yeah. You got to knock him out to get the draw. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's an old saying.
And if I'd have knocked him out, they still would have found a way to not give it to me.
No,
so it's just one of those things. And I want to try to get the rematch from the fella. He's been difficult about it. So
did you learn in the fight? Did you learn in the fight?
Of course. You know what?
Well, that learning experience will benefit in your next fight.
100%.
Okay. And you didn't get badly hurt. I know you said he headbutted you. You didn't get badly hurt.
I didn't get hurt. But you know what? Everyone was there with cameras, and they done the VAR replay, and they showed me it, and it looked naughty. There was intent there.
I lost a few fights by headbutts. I got caught a few times in my fights.
Yeah.
I'm clashing heads. I'm not saying that the deliberate headbutts.
No, this was deliberate. But you know, I'm not one of these people to sit and moan and complain about it. It's done what it's done. Obviously, I was told before I went there, you've got to knock him out on his home turf. You've got to knock him out, otherwise you've got no chance. You're not going to win against a home fighter. The judges are not going to score against him.
It's very difficult to do, like you say. Knock him out to get the draw. It's very difficult to beat a man in his home patch, but that's boxing.
Yeah, but you know what? The thing about it is, people have lost world titles of bad decisions. And then I can't grumble. Stuff like that. People.
Oh, we can't grumble. We can't grumble. We have to grumble.
We got to grumble.
Human nature. I can't grumble. Oh, listen.
Yes.
I've done some serious moaning over the years in fights that I think I should have won. I should have won that fight. I could have won that fight. If this hadn't happened, if that hadn't happened, we have to grumble. You got to grumble. You go back to the drawing board. You dust yourself down. And then have another fight. Or break shit.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get on this undercard of this John Fury and Micky Theo.
Okay.
Stuff. So, you know...
Have you got a big following, don't mind me asking?
Sorry?
Have you got a big following?
I've got a following, yeah. I've got a following.
Well, listen, have you got Spencer Brown's number?
I haven't, no.
He'd be the man to speak to because he's going to put an undercard together. Obviously, you need to get as much publicity. Well, obviously, it's gaining publicity every day.
Yeah.
You know, it's phenomenal, the amount of publicity that it's getting. But I really do believe it's perfect timing. It's perfect timing.
Perfect timing. Perfect
publicity because of what's happening with the NHS. So anybody that's doing anything to help the NHS, like I did the thing yesterday, one of the greatest sculptings in the world, the miniature sculpting, a man called Willard Wigan, MBE. If you get the chance to look at his work, he's amazing. He carves things out of grains of rice. He carves things out of the minutest things, make the biggest impact. And his works, they're in studios or in museums or in art galleries around the world. But he's just done a piece of artwork, and it's an NHS nurse in this battle against COVID-19. And we're promoting that now. They're going to auction it and raise a lot of money for the charity. A lot of the boxers around the world are throwing their weight behind Willard because he's helping in the fight with this horrible illness. You know, and it is a fight. The nurses and doctors are on the battlefield. They are fighting. You know, it is a fight. Now the boxers go to the ring to fight with gloves.
They're fighting for people's lives. They're out there fighting. You're right, on the battlefield, fighting to save people's lives.
Yep. So everybody that's doing anything, that old soldier, 99 years of age, he's raised over £12 million.
Yeah, I saw that.
Amazing. If he was to do that under normal circumstances for any other charity, he wouldn't have raised as much as he's raised.
No,
it shows you the heartstrings that the NHS are pulling on. Do you understand? People around the world are in admiration and utmost respect, you know, for the NHS frontline workers. And everybody and anybody that's doing anything to raise funds for them are getting so much publicity. Like tonight, we'll be out on the balcony now, me and my wife, and we'll be clapping at 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock, yeah.
You know, we've done it last week. We did it the week before.
Yeah.
You know, and it's wonderful. And I hope, please God, this is over soon.
I hope so. I really do hope so.
So do I.
I really do hope so. But I think it's taught us some very valuable lessons. I think it's taught us to appreciate the things that we take for granted every day.
We do take a lot of things for granted. And you know something? If there's anything good going to come out of all this bad, it will bring humanity and people together. There's people that have been enemies, countries that have been enemies, that are helping each other now in this battle.
Yeah, that's right.
You know?
That's right.
Some countries are donating masks and body armour and hand sanitizers to countries that they wouldn't normally get on with. You know, neighbours that have been at each other's throats are now helping each other, you know, with things. And people, it might bring out the best in people.
I hope so.
So do I, Big T.
Yeah.
So do I.
Yeah.
My wife's here beside me. This is my wife, Ruth, to speak to. I've been interviewed, Ruth. Say hello.
Hi.
Hello.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
She's been looking after me now and doing I suppose due diligence as a wife, you know. But she's making sure that I'm safe as well as keeping herself safe. But it's a frightening time. It's a frightening time because
it is definitely.
You know, you see, we're talking boxing. Two of the boxers that I spoke to wanted to get them to do a video for Willard Wigan, and both just beat the virus. A man called Guy Williamson, former Metropolitan Inspector with the police, and he became the World Amateur Police Champion, and he's since become a barrister. I boxed him in 1985, Ireland versus England, and he beat me. And then Coley Barrett got to the final of the prize fighter and lost to Audley Harrison in the final of the prize fighter. Both of them have just come out of intensive care from coronavirus. Both of them. Coley is actually still in hospital. He's been in hospital 4 weeks. He was in intensive care for 2. Guy Williamson was in intensive care for a week. Now, if this virus can hit heavyweight powerful men.
Yeah, that's
heavyweight champions. What chance has a mere mortal got? So people, please be careful out there.
Yes. There was all this rubbish and all this stuff saying that it only hits the elderly and the young and the very young, and it was all rubbish in the end. It was like then I heard younger and younger people dying who were healthy and stuff. So
Nigel Benn's brother, God rest him, got it and died.
Oh, see.
Yeah, there's a few
people I heard in the boxing community who died and stuff, and
two heavyweights are battling it, and please God they're beating it. Cody's still in hospital after 4 weeks, and guy's just been released from hospital. But they're both, like I said, they're both getting better. Yeah. And anybody that's got it, please God you pull through, and anybody that's passed, God rest you.
Just going back quickly. God rest their soul. So just going back quickly. How long have you known John Fury?
I've been friends with the Furies when Tyson was a little boy. I've known John. So me and John were nearly on the circuit together boxing as pros.
Yeah.
We were definitely on the circuit as amateurs, and his brother Peter. I've known the Furies a long time. I watched Tyson box as an amateur. I watched Huey, Peter's boy, box as an amateur many, many times. They boxed in front of Sugar Ray Leonard. They boxed in front of Mike Tyson as amateurs. And I followed Tyson as a pro. I went out to Germany when he fought Klitschko. And I predicted, I was only one of the group that I was with. I predicted that Youth and Speed would win that fight. I was wrong in a few fights over the years, but that particular fight, I was right. I was right in that fight.
You said he was going to win the points?
I knew he was going to be too fast for Klitschko. Take nothing away from Klitschko. He was a big warrior, big, proud, tough man. But Youth and Speed won that fight. And Tyson was too fast. And then Tyson's been winning fights since with speed. I didn't give the credit he really deserved against Wilder. I was after watching him come out after 2.5 years out of action, and only having 2 warm-up fights, and then going in against Wilder, I just thought it was too much. Even his dad, John, thought it was too much, and he proved us all wrong and got a draw in a fight that he won. He won that first fight. Talking about decisions in fights.
Oh, of course he won it.
He won the first fight, but see, in the second fight, he brought his judges to the ring himself. He made his fists his judges, and he battered Wilder into submission.
So what do you think about Wilder? What do you think about Wilder saying that he's not the true champ because he's got fight in the third time? He wants to have this third fight?
It's fight to talk. Fighters will always talk that talk because a man's pride and ego was hurt. Wilder's pride and ego was hurt. So he's still got to try and
he's got to convince himself that
he's got to convince himself. Do you understand?
He's still the best.
Fury's speed is too much for anything that Wilder can bring to the table. I know he's got that big, powerful punch, but Fury's proved that he can take that. He wouldn't want to be taking too many of them. In the second fight, he didn't take hardly anything, a couple of glancing blows, because I really thought that cut that he got in the fight previous was going to open up, but it didn't. And Fury's masterclass of boxing. Masterclass.
If you was Wilder and you had this clause, the clause in the contract to have the rematch. Would you take the clause now? Would you take the rematch
I'm going to tell you something now that maybe a lot of people don't know this, right?
Yeah.
We are very blessed in the UK. I'm Irish, but I love this country. We're very blessed in the UK to have the NHS. They don't have that luxury in America. See, if you don't have money in America, you don't get the treatment that you get like you get in the UK.
That's right, yeah.
Right? Now, Deontay Wilder's daughter has spina bifida. She was born with spina bifida. So that man fights for a cause. He's like a man on a crusade. He's fighting to secure his daughter's treatments for the rest of her life so that she will be minded after he goes with her illness and her issues or problems that she's got in her body. So he's fighting to get as much money as he possibly can. So he knows that the rematch with Fury will raise him
30 mil, 30 mil, yeah.
I don't know the figures that the fight is for, but into the tens of millions. So he knows that all that money is really going to secure his daughter's future.
But maybe wouldn't it be better to wait a bit and wait because he's not going to beat Fury right now. Maybe wait and maybe he can fight AJ in the future or someone like that who's got the belts. You know.
I just think that the big paydays for him is with Fury.
Just take the paydays now. I think. Is that what you're saying? Just take the money.
I think the big paydays. Fury's the man of the moment. You know, he's after beating Wilder in America. You know, they've all took to Fury in America. They've took to him around the world. You know, and the thing is, Wilder's using the excuse that he had to carry that big uniform that he wore to the ring, that big, I don't know what sort of monstrosity outfit that he wore to the ring, and that it affected his legs. He's also changed.
It's a lame excuse, though, wasn't it? It was a lame excuse.
It's an excuse. It's an excuse, right? It's an excuse, right? Yeah. He's also changing his team now. He's bringing in, there's talk of him bringing in Floyd Mayweather and George Foreman.
Really?
Yeah, that's the talk. That's the talk.
Really? You know what? Can I be honest with you? I'll be honest with you. If he'd have to learn the basics, though, wouldn't he? I don't know.
Listen, he won an Olympic bronze medal. Wilder won an Olympic bronze medal.
He can box. He can be. Yeah. They don't give those out.
He's an experienced fighter. You look at the men that he's shared the ring with.
You've got to be able to box to get a bronze medal. You've got to be able to box.
He's got good amateur credentials. He got what I dreamed of getting. I dreamed of getting an Olympic medal. But he also got what I dreamed of getting, the world heavyweight title. So he's living the dreams that I dreamed. But the thing is, you know, he's an experienced.
You don't become a bad boxer. You don't become a bad fighter overnight.
He's not a bad fighter. He's a very, very good fighter. And he also has to listen. And he also has the cure for what's that thing when you can't sleep? What's it called?
Insomnia.
Insomnia, right?
He's got the cure for insomnia.
He's also got the cure for insomnia. If you can't.
That right hand's got the cure for any insomnia. I love that.
Okay, so
I love that.
Thing is,
put you to sleep straight. No messing.
He comes and he brings that big punch to the ring.
Yeah.
He will always
no
carry
missing.
that
No
excitement.
missing. No missing.
No, he'll always carry that excitement to the ring. Now, unless Fury gets totally complacent, right, and doesn't prepare diligently, you know, and Wilder does get in and land a succession of concussive punches, I can't see Tyson Fury losing to Wilder in the third fight because he won't let himself down. He'll get in and he'll box, and he'll have too much speed for Wilder. He had too much.
But isn't it all about timing? It's all about timing. You know, he might not be able to beat Fury now, but he might be able to beat Fury down the road in a year or two.
That happens. That happens in boxing.
That happens, doesn't it?
If a man goes off the rails and doesn't live the life of a Spartan and doesn't adhere to the trainer's rules and the trainer's advice and go to bed early and train hard.
This is what happens. Complacency sets in. It doesn't matter who you are. You win something. It's okay. It's easy to win something, but it's holding on to it is the hard part.
But look at the fights that Tyson had with Schwartz, right? 2 fights before he fought Wilder. He fought that Schwartz chap, right? Now, Schwartz was a German heavyweight champion that had great amateur credentials at the highest level and great professional credentials at the highest level. And Fury took him to school. Fury was hitting him. Schwartz was doing nothing wrong. Nothing wrong at all, right? And Fury was hitting him with 8-punch combinations, okay? And eventually stopped him, I think it was in the second round. Then Fury came in the next fight against Wallen, the Finn fighter, I think he's from Finland, who really wasn't.
Otto Wallen,
he wasn't in Tyson Fury's class, but Tyson Fury got a clash of heads, got his eye opened up, and almost came unstuck that night.
Yeah,
his heart as a warrior got him through, and his boxing skills got him through.
Yeah,
so anything can happen in boxing. Yeah, no, anything can happen in boxing. Like you say, they get caught with a good punch,
clash of heads,
punch can change the course of a fight.
That's
one point change the course of the history of that weight. Don't mind one fight. And it's interesting because, and you know what it's good for? It's good for boxing because when there's great heavyweights, all the weights blossom, and we've got great heavyweights at the moment.
We've got all the belts over here.
Listen, we've got great heavyweights. We've got Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, Dylan White, Chisora. We've got the new kid that's coming up, the British champion, Daniel Dubois. Oh my God, he's
Joe
Joyce and him are fighting for the British title.
Yeah.
Daniel Dubois is defending his British title against Joe Joyce.
Yeah.
I don't know what date it's going to be now with this lockdown. They're both in training camp to fight, I think, soon, but obviously it's going to be put back now. But that's a phenomenal fight. Joyce brings a great record and a wealth of experience to the ring. And Dubois just brings a punch like Wilder's got.
Yeah, just quickly, because we have to wrap this up soon. Just quickly, who would you say would win out of Dubois and Joyce? Who's going to win if it's back to normal?
You know something? I just think with Dubois' power, it's hard to go against him. But Joyce has got a good punch on him as well. But when Dubois fought,
but Joyce he's got the pedigree, isn't he? He's got the amateur pedigree. He's been in with the better fighters.
Take nothing away from the man. He's got the pedigree. But I just think with Dubois' power. But listen, Joyce has got power as well, and he's got the pedigree.
But isn't Joyce supposed to be a better boxer?
He's a very, very talented boxer, Joyce.
Very talented boxer.
But when Dubois fought Gorman, he showed skills in that fight. That I didn't give him credit for. Punch. But when he cut the ring off, Gorman was into the ring with a lot faster boxing ability, movement. But Dubois, like a proper predator, just cut the ring off. He showed a wealth of knowledge for his limited years in boxing. You know, I didn't give him the credit for that. He cut the ring off against Gorman and gave Gorman a beating. I think he stopped Gorman in the 7th round. Now, you have to come in, you have to do the same to Joyce. You will have to cut the ring off because Joyce will have movement, speed, angles, and has a good punch on him as well. But I just think that, like I said, when Fury fought Klitschko, the youth won the fight. Youth and speed won that fight. And I just think that Dubois is a lot younger than Joyce. I don't know how old Joyce is, but Dubois is younger, fresher. Yeah. Hungrier. Yes, but Joyce is some fighter as well. I'm a big fan of the two of them. I am a big fan of them. I've been very, very, very privileged. I've met them both. I've had conversations with them both, and they're both lovely young men. And that's the great thing about the heavyweight division at the moment. You've got great ambassadors. Boxing doesn't just need great fighters; it needs great ambassadors. You've got Anthony Joshua, who's a wonderful ambassador for boxing, and Tyson Fury, who's an amazing ambassador for boxing, coming through what he's come through with his mental health issues. And then you've got these other fighters, lovely young men. So it's great. Boxing's blossoming and blooming at the moment, and long may it continue.
Well, Joe, listen, it's been a pleasure having you on.
You too.
It's been really good. I love your insight into boxing, and we'll have to do this again soon, 100%.
For sure. God bless. Lovely talking to you. Thank you.
God bless, mate.
Bye,
take care.
Stay safe.
Bye-bye.
Stay healthy. God bless everyone listening.